boys? Today we are back, and in today's video I'm going to be going over the UFC Seattle card that happened last night. Joe Pyfer versus Israel Adesanya. This card was pretty good. A few little boring fights, but overall this card was great. The Seattle crowd was generational. They were loud as fuck. Love the fight night events in a crowd. This is why we don't go to the Apex, because of last night. The crowd was fucking on fire. The fights felt big. The fights felt meaningful for once. Even though there wasn't a lot of like ranked matchups, the fights, felt great. So let's get right into it. Alexia Thainara versus Bruna Brazil. This fight sucked. Shitty way to open the card, but Thainara wins. She's a decent little prospect. Only one loss. I think she's got a few wins in the UFC. Got a bunch of takedowns on Bruna Brazil. Bruna Brazil was landing a decent bit on the feet. And when it was on the feet, it was a little bit exciting, but Thainara just got the takedowns at will and won the fight. So yeah, 1-0 so far in predictions. Moving on. This one doesn't count because it was a draw, but yeah, I see a lot of people saying Adrian Yanez got robbed. It was close. Rounds 1 and 2 were close. I didn't think it was like blatant like robbery. Yanez could have won one of the rounds. And then a 10-8 in the third round. I don't know. We gave a 10-8 because he got dropped, because Simone got dropped. He was getting pieced up the whole round, but does that really warrant a 10-8? He only dropped him with like 5 seconds left and then landed like a few ground and pound shots. So if they just if the judges just gave that a 10-9, all three judges gave it a 10-8. I think all three judges gave it a 10-8, right? Or no, Ricky Simone won 29-28 on one scorecard. So one of the judges gave it a 10-9, but I thought it should have just been a regular 10-9 and then Simone wins 2-1. But hey, two of the judges, round 3 was a 10-8, which is a little sus. I don't know about that one. But yeah, I thought this one could have gone either way. I don't really care. And the fight was a draw. It wasn't even that good either. The only fun part was like the last 2.5 minutes of the round 3 when Yanez was just putting it on Ricky Simone and then dropped him and then landed ground and pound. That was really the only fun part of the fight. The first 2.5 rounds kind of sucked. So yeah, that one is pretty much a no contest for my picks. So yeah. Moving on, Navajo Sterling versus Bruno Lopez. The card started out a little bit slow, I'm not going to lie. This fight was kind of ass. Navajo Sterling's boring as shit. He reminds me of like early Adesanya before he started getting some finishes. He reminds me of Adesanya now, not the past Adesanya that was getting a lot of finishes. He reminds me of like Adesanya now. Not in this fight, which I'm going to get to, but he reminds me just like sit on the outside, classic city kickboxing guy, just jab and fucking and fucking leg kick on the outside. Bruno Lopez was getting some control time, shooting for a lot of takedowns. Navajo Sterling shucked off every takedown. Bruno Lopez was 0 for 8. And then, yeah, Navajo Sterling cracks him hard. And then the ref just lets Bruno Lopez get like fucking 5 more years of damage onto his career and like 5 more years taken off his life because he didn't stop the fight. This dude, Bruno Lopez, was eating heavy shots from Navajo Sterling on the ground after Navajo dropped him. And Keith Peterson just did not stop the fucking fight. I'm pretty sure it was Keith Peterson because Dom Cruz on the fucking mic was going, let him stay in there. And Bruno Lopez is like fucking this on the ground. My opinion, late stoppage, but who really cares? Because I kind of agree with Dom Cruz. Like, I want to see the guy like try to get back up and try to stay in the fight. But a little late stoppage in my opinion. But who really cares? Navajo Sterling, he finally got a KO. I predicted this fight would go to decision because I don't think he's a KO artist, but he got Bruno Lopez out of there. So credit to him. So I'm 2-0 on picks so far because that one doesn't count. Moving on. King Casey O'Neill with a first-round slime out. I got this one wrong. I picked Gabriela Fernandez because Casey O'Neill had a ton of injuries and it was out for a long time, but her striking was crisp as fuck. Gabriela Fernandez's only good win is Wang Kong. Other than that, she's not that impressive. She was on a 3-fight win streak. I don't know why I picked her. I think it was just because of the long layoff of Casey O'Neill, and I didn't think Casey O'Neill was all that. But great TKO. Not much to say about this fight. Good knockout from Casey O'Neill. Didn't expect it. Thought this one was going to a decision, but King Casey just went out there and fucking knocked out, like bad knockout against the fence too. Like fucking Gabriela Fernandez's hands were down and just getting punched against the fence. So fire KO. I like the fight. Good job, Casey O'Neill. So that's my first one wrong. So I'm 2-1 on picks. And I'm 2-2 on picks. I could have been 3-1 if Bruce Buffer, just stuck with the decision. No, I'm just kidding. But this fight was terrible. This fight was really awful. Like I said, the start of this card was shit. I'm not gonna lie, but this fight was terrible. Tyrell Fortune didn't look that good. In my opinion, Ty Burrow was like beating him on the feet. Tyrell Fortune did land a few decent shots. And then just used his grappling like I predicted. But I thought Ty Burrow would be able to, land the better shots on the feet and win a decision. So I was wrong. Fortune came in, looked decent, but this just shows how shitty the heavyweight division is, man. Holy fuck. You have a guy coming off the couch, 2-week notice, that's beating Marcin Tybura. Walter Walker would have done fucking nasty things to Tybura, by the way. That's what the fight was scheduled to be. Volter Walker would have heel hooked this Tybura in like 2 seconds. But good win by Fortune. And then, of course, Bruce Buffer announces the wrong winner. Fortune comes back in the ring, gets announced as the winner. And I kind of fuck with Fortune after that. The crowd was on his side. They were cheering for him just because it was like a funny moment. So I fuck with Tyrell Fortune. I want to see him win in his next fight. I'm kind of a fan now. And yeah, he was pretty critical of his performance, which I thought he was like a humble guy. And he didn't really say much about the post-fight interview thing, but I thought it was funny as fuck. The crowd got behind him, so I'm a Tyrell Fortune fan, even though the performance was meh. It was okay. But yeah, Marcin Tybura, he is not a top 10 heavyweight, but he is actually in the top 10 heavyweight ranking, so that just shows you how shitty the UFC heavyweight division is. Moving on, Lance Gibson Jr. versus Chase Hooper. Chase Hooper, stop. Become a grappler. You go to UFC BJJ. Fighting's not for you, bro. You're too skinny, you're too frail, you're too soy. You just don't have it in you. You got rocked by just a fucking clinch elbow, just like genuinely jelly-legged around the cage, shot for a takedown, and then just fucking, yeah. I can't remember the finishing sequence. I think it was a knee, right? Did he drop him with a knee and then land ground and pound, and then the ref stopped it? I think that's what happened, but Lance Gibson Jr. is not even that good. He had a shitty fight with King Green. But King Green, is a hard, debut fight. I said that in my predictions, but yeah, Lance Gibson Jr., beautiful elbow, good on the mic after, like kind of inspirational on the mic after. The crowd was booing him because I think they thought it was an early stoppage, which, in my opinion, it was an early stoppage. Lance Gibson Jr. was about to land ground and pound. I think Chase Hooper was still in there, but Hooper didn't even protest the stoppage. I think Hooper's done. Like, mentally, I think he's done. He should just go to UFC BJJ. He should be like a fucking, I don't know, go to like fucking, I don't know. The guy's just not built for combat, especially hand-to-hand combat. Jiu-jitsu is where your lane is, Chase Hooper. Yeah, the crowd was booing because they thought it was an early stoppage, which in my opinion, it was a little bit of an early stoppage, but Lance Gibson Jr. was just going to land ground and pound and probably finish him anyway. So yeah, in the post-fight, everyone was booing him, and then he said, I'm from Seattle, and then he started getting a little inspirational and emotional, and people were just got behind him. The Seattle crowd was great all night, so this was like a feel-good moment, but I did get this one wrong. Lance Gibson Jr. puts out Chase Hooper in round 1. Hooper's done. His career's over. Moving on, this fucking fight, man. This is where the card started to get really good. After that, the Hooper fight was good because it was an early finish. Yeah, Ignacio Bahamondes versus Tofik Musayev. This dude, Tofik Musayev, just cheated his way to a victory, man. He would have got suplexed and maybe ground and pounded out. And like Ignacio Bahamondes could have got a second round TKO. But first round, I think Musayev got a takedown, or I'm not sure. Bahamondes was landing on the feet. The first round was really close. I don't know who won the first round. I guess on all 3 scorecards, or 2 of the 3 scorecards, Ignacio won the first round. Second round comes, Ignacio drops Musayev bad, starts landing ground and pound. Musayev gets up, and Ignacio Bahamondes goes for a suplex, and this dude has both hands in the cage like this, just grabbing the cage. Ref's looking right at it, doesn't say anything, doesn't do anything. Musayev just literally hangs onto the fucking cage. Like he got taken off his feet and just hung onto the cage, and Bahamondes couldn't take him down. And then obviously, we get later into the round, Bahamondes goes for a guillotine, doesn't get it, and Musayev just lands fucking insane elbows, cuts Ignacio. This is one of the bloodiest fights in recent memory. This shit was a fucking bloodbath, man. So Ignacio goes for the guillotine, shitty decision, and then just gets fucking ground and pounded out hard the last few minutes of round 2. Ignacio was going for submissions, but they just weren't there. Musayev just huge elbows. Ignacio had a cut like pretty much like right here on his forehead and then like into his eye a little bit. Insane cut, so much blood. And then in the third round, Musayev just goes out there, takes Bahamondes down, lays on him, lands ground and pound, and it's just a bloody, wet fucking fight. And then in the last 30 seconds, Bahamondes almost gets a choke. It's too slippery. He falls off the back. He gets way too high on the back. But I thought Bahamondes was going to come back in that third round and get a choke. If he got that rear naked choke with like 20 seconds left in the third round, the place would have went fucking insane. The crowd was already on fire when Ignacio got his back. Reversed Musayev and got his back and went for the choke. So I feel bad for Bahamondes. Like he probably should have got like a fucking second round TKO if the ref or a point taken away from Musayev for holding the cage, because that was fucking insane. But I feel bad for Bahamondes. But at the same time, like why'd you pull a guillotine? Like you had the guy probably like rocked on his feet. So yeah, bad decision by Bahamondes. But Musayev wins. Dirty cheat. Should have got a point taken and shouldn't even get his fucking win money in my opinion. But Musayev wins. Decent win. Moving on. Yeah. Predicted this one to a T. Terrence McKinney in the first 20 seconds. Like, yeah, the sky's blue, the grass is green. Yeah, I'm not going to like praise myself for, going out there and saying McKinney's going to slam out Nelson, because obviously that's what was going to happen. It was either that or Nelson will survive the first 20 seconds and McKinney would get finished in the end of the first. So, yeah, Terrence McKinney goes out there, just brutalizes Kyle Nelson. Kyle Nelson quit, in my opinion. That head kick did nothing. Nelson had both hands up in the guard. The head kick just didn't land, but he went down. And then McKinney just ground and pounded him on the ground. Looks like Kyle Nelson quit. Not too much to say about this one. McKinney just goes out there, gets another first round submission. I fucking love McKinney. He goes out there, gets, kill or be killed in the first fucking minute of the fight. So I fuck with McKinney heavy. Glad he got the win. Nelson just quit, but whatever. I'm happy McKinney won. Moving on. Yusri Belgaraoui versus Mansour Abdul Malik. I did pick Belgaraoui to win because I don't think Malik is all that. I said Belgaraoui would chuck off the takedowns and get a decision victory, but he got a finish. Just pieced up Abdul Malik for all 3 rounds pretty much. Leg kick Malik hard in the first 2 rounds. Malik's leg was done. Malik did get a few takedowns, but Belgaraoui was able to just get right back up. Glover Teixeira and Paulinho Cruz, bro. They've made these kickboxing guys that have decent takedown defense. Like, obviously, they'll get taken down. Alex Pereira got taken down by Jan Blachowicz, but he was able to get back up, avoid submissions, didn't get held down. And same with Alex in the Magomed Ankalaev first fight. Never got taken down, got held against the cage, but they've got good takedown defense over there. Belgaraoui is just a worse Pereira. He's just a less powerful, worse Pereira. But they have the same build, same takedown defense, same striking pretty much. I think Alex is a little more cleaner, but yeah, these guys are like a spinning image of each other other than Belgaraoui is just a little bit worse. But yeah, Belgaraoui looked good. Shook the takedowns off, landed clean strikes, got Mansour Abdul Malik out of there with a knee. And like I said, Abdul Malik is not that impressive. I said that in my predictions. This guy doesn't impress me at all. And Belgaraoui went out there and proved that. So thank you to Belgaraoui for letting me get a pick right. And good win by him. And then they showed Alex Pereira on the cam and everyone went crazy. So I just love that team. Belgaraoui seems like a fun dude too. So yeah, I'm happy for Belgaraoui and he should get a decent fight next. Maybe top 20, top 15. I want to see that. So yeah, moving on. Laren Douglas versus Julian Erosa. This was just bad, dude. Julian Erosa is just... I predicted Laren Douglas to beat him in the first round. I said Julian Erosa is not a fighter. He's stoy as shit. He's not built for combat. He doesn't take shots well. And that's what you saw. Julian Erosa just goes out there slow as shit. I'm pretty sure I could beat Julian Erosa. I'm not even kidding. I haven't trained a day in my life. If I showed up in the cage and that Julian Erosa was in the cage, I would have beaten him. I'm sorry. It's just facts. And I haven't trained a day in my life. I've boxed on a heavy bag once. I'm pretty sure I have faster hand speed than Julian Erosa. Bro was throwing shots in fucking slow motion. And Laren Douglas was just fucking insane power. Just dropped Julian Erosa 3 times with a jab. A fucking jab. So... it was crazy. It was just a nothing fight, really. Laren Douglas just went out there and slammed Erosa out early. Laren Douglas, great power, but this doesn't really prove anything to me because Julian Erosa's ass. He's slow. He can't take a shot. So I need to see Laren Douglas fight a little bit more competent guy before I'm too high on him. But this was a great performance, and he got the job done, and I picked him. So moving on, Michael Chiesa versus Nico Price. This fight was fixed. No doubt in my mind that this fight was fixed. Nico Price went out there just to be a sacrificial lamb. I don't know if he told Michael Chiesa, hey, I'm just going to let you submit me, but that's what it looked like. Michael Chiesa went out, tried to go for a takedown. Nico Price did a good job, landed on top, but Michael Chiesa reversed him, and then just Nico Price gave his back. Michael Chiesa didn't even have a locked-in choke, and it was just around, it was just barely locked in, and Nico Price just tapped immediately. So Michael Chiesa rides off into the sunset on a 4-fight win streak. If you're on a 4-fight win streak, why don't you just stay until you lose? Retire off a loss. I guess he wants to, doesn't really... I think he likes the desk work more, and obviously he'd probably want to go out on a win in Seattle. It was a perfect retirement, but still, you're on a 4-fight win streak. Keep fighting bums and getting paid. That's what I would have done, but shout out to Chiesa, decent little career. Wasn't my favorite fighter when I, got into the, UFC, but he had a good moment. Shout out his wife, shout out his mom, Kevin Lee. Kevin Lee, shitted on his mom and then posted something on Twitter, shout out to you and your family, great career. So that was nice to see. But yeah, Nico Price just went out there and just gave up. Just let Michael Chiesa submit him. That's what I genuinely think that happened. Nico Price just had nothing, it was a nothing fight. Just went out there and got submitted like that. So, I don't know. Good job, Michael Chiesa. Moving on, the next 2 fights, this is what I really want to talk about. Holy fucking shit. Holy shit. I thought Macy Barber, passed away. I'm sorry. I genuinely thought Macy Barber passed away. What the fuck was this finish, man? Alexa Grasso goes out there and slimes Macy Barber out. Fucking insane. This was the most fucking brutal women's finish all time. Easily. This is worse than the Valentina Shevchenko head kick against Jessica Ai. This was 10 times worse than that. Alexa Grasso genuinely almost killed someone for the first time in the UFC. Alexa Grasso had literally almost committed the first murder in the UFC. Lands an insane, I don't even remember what hand it was. Drops Macy Barber bad. Macy Barber's out. She's like just out when she gets dropped. And instead of going for ground and pound, Alexa Grasso just latches up her fucking neck like in fucking 1 second. Like she dropped her and then she was immediately on the neck. It was crazy speed from Alexa Grasso. And then she just choked her while she was unconscious. Like this could have went really fucking bad. And then the ref pulled her off like almost like immediately. Macy Barber did like try to grab onto a leg, like the ref's leg. Macy Barber also shit herself. Like, oh my God. This is a brutal finish, bro. This is actually brutal. Alexa Grasso made Macy Barber shit herself, and then I thought Macy Barber died. Like, that's just what it was. That's just what the fight was. Yeah, Alexa Grasso lets go of the choke. Macy Barber tries to hold the ref's leg, and then just, like, flops to the ground. And, like, is there for, like, minutes. Just, like, eyes wide open, arms to the side. I'm like, bro, I tweeted this shit. I was like, did Macy Barber pass away in the cage? Like, because when you get knocked out unconscious and then you get choked out, like, for a few seconds, it's like, bro, that has to, like, do something to your, like, worse to your brain when you get knocked out and submitted in like, a fucking 5-second span. So I thought Macy Barber, I don't know, man. I don't fucking know, bro. Holy fuck. Alexa Grasso hit Macy Barber so hard she shit herself. That's so embarrassing. I feel bad for Macy Barber, like, genuinely. That's a fucking insane way to go out. And then, like, they're announcing the winner, and Macy Barber was just, like, looking. Macy Barber had no fucking idea where she was, bro. Alexa Grasso genuinely had the fucking most brutal slime out in women's MMA history. This is one of the most brutal finishes of all time. Fuck women. Fuck, like, just women. This is one of the nastiest fucking finishes of all time by Alexa Grasso. That was insane. It was fucking crazy, bro. It looked like a crime scene with no blood. It was fucked, man. Holy shit. Insane finish by Alexa Grasso. I think she got a performance award for that. She should have, because that was insane. But insane finish. I don't really have much else to say. Like, she made Macy Barber shit herself, and then, like, I thought she passed away, which was insane. But moving on to the main event, Israel Adesanya versus Joe Pyfer. I'm dropping a video about this tomorrow. I just recorded it, so I'm not going to speak too much on it, but Israel Adesanya, it's time to retire. I think you should have one more fight. You just didn't have it. You just don't have it anymore. To be fair, Israel Adesanya looked the best in this fight since the Alex Pereira rematch where he knocked him out. This is Izzy's best performance since he beat Alex Pereira, easily. Chewed Joe Pyfer's legs up bad. Israel Adesanya stayed in the pocket with Joe Pyfer. Izzy said beforehand, I want to just feel like I'm in a fight. And that's what he did. He didn't sit on the outside. He looked like a whole new Israel Adesanya. Didn't sit on the outside. He looked like pre-fucking Jan Blachowicz Adesanya. Going out there, just going for a fucking finish. He stood right in front of Pyfer. Now, Israel Adesanya's defense has like fucking got really bad, so he was getting tagged, but still. I respect Izzy's fucking hella for going out there and just trying to win the fight. Not just sitting on the outside, leg kicking, jabbing, and trying to, like he did against Cannonier and Whitaker the second time, and Vettori. He went out there for a fucking finish, so I respect it. But Joe Pyfer, like I predicted, you just can't, 25 minutes with such a fucking powerful guy like Joe Pyfer, and Izzy's chin isn't good, his defense isn't good, Izzy has zero finishing potential. It was just bound to happen. So Joe Pyfer didn't even impress me that much. Like, I think Joe Pyfer gets beaten by everyone above Izzy. I think he gets beaten by Strickland, Chimaev, DDP. Brendan Allen probably beats Pyfer. Although I could see Pyfer beating Brendan Allen. But who else? I think Imavov smokes Joe Pyfer. Yeah, so Joe Pyfer didn't really impress me. It's just that Israel Adesanya is just not high level anymore. And Joe Pyfer is just a little bit better in his prime. So shout out Joe Pyfer for winning. I'm not a big Pyfer fan, but what he was saying on the mic kind of made me feel bad for him. So. And he was respectful as fuck to Izzy, so I fucked with that. But yeah, I'm dropping a video about this main event tomorrow. Joe Pyfer gets it done. I predicted it. Sucks for Izzy. He's just so done. He has pillow hands, bro. He has zero finishing ability. He landed a good knee, but like in his hands, zero finishing ability. Almost got him out of there with leg kicks, but Joe Pyfer toughed it out. Good on him. Joe Pyfer's so susceptible to leg kicks, bro. Holy shit. That's a bad thing in his career, so he's going to fix that. But yeah, Joe Pyfer gets the win over Izzy. Let's go over my picks. I went 1-0. Doesn't count. Or okay, we'll count this as a draw. So 1-0-1, 2-0-1, 2-1-1, 2-2-1, 2-3-1, 2-4-1. I picked Bahamondes. 3-4-1, 4-4-1, 5-4-1, 6-4-1, 7. Nope, I didn't. 6-5-1. And 7-5-1. So I went like 7-5 if we don't count the draw. I picked Ricky Simone, so he should have fucking won. So that could have been 8-5, but we'll go 7-5-1. Not the best on predictions, but this card was great. This like the Seattle crowd was amazing all night. Great crowd, great event. This Paramount really needed this shit because this was probably the event of the year, best card of the year. With hype, with crowd, with the fights, with the victories, with the type of bloody fucking performances, with the stakes. Everything was just amazing. And that fucking co-main event was just genuinely cinema. Holy shit! But thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you guys think of the card in the comments. Please subscribe, like, do all that. Get me to 100 subs. We're close to 100 subs. We're at 68. Maybe one video blows up of mine and we'll get to 100 soon. But thank you for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.